Welcome back. This is season 3, episode 2. We talked about college, getting into college and the freedom it brought. Today I'm talking about choosing a career. Before you even know yourself, at least that's what I thought. When I was asked what career I wanted, I answered confidently. But if I'm honest, I didn't really know myself yet. Hi, I'm Lydia. Here, I talk about real life stories and the transitions no one names for us. And no one named them. We want to name them now and support ourselves and others as we transition through life's journey. Because transition is obvious. It's every day. Welcome. I don't remember knowing myself yet. I remember going through college. I remember I was studying law, and my choice was not just myself. I know that I had this conversation with my brother too, who was helping me choose a college, choose a career path as well. He knew me, so he convinced me of certain things, my strengths and what I could manage. And I also convinced myself based on my own natural thoughts and me being a product of what I had gone through. I talked about some tender stories before about sexual abuse and stuff like that, and that being one of the key factors that led me to want to be a lawyer and want to protect children like me who I felt were very vulnerable. So those two combined, but I still would say I didn't really know myself. It was what someone told me and what I thought would be what I wanted to do that combined made me choose a career path. What also felt very obvious was that choosing a career felt very permanent. Like this is what I was always going to do. It was like that one decision would define the rest of my life. And there was no wiggle room. But no one talked about the identity shift underneath. What are my strengths? Or what are your strengths? What environments bring out the best of you or bring out your absolute best? What kind of pressure shapes you? And what kind of pressure breaks you? What comes to you naturally? What do you enjoy? What would you do? What are you doing now that you can currently turn into a career and something that would make money for you and something that you would do and not really consider work? Those were not conversations we had. The conversations, I think, were around labels. If a label was good enough for a parent or a guardian, if it was good enough, it was prestigious enough, if it felt like it met the standards of your academic performance or what they thought would be your intelligence levels, maybe, and I would say this very clearly, and I know it happens to date, parents living vicariously through their kids. So maybe they wanted to be a nurse. They never got to be, so one of my kids will have to be. And so sometimes we lead our children and our young people into paths that they are not meant for or they really do not want. And I'm sure you have heard those stories. I have had several of them myself. Some kids will go to college, get that degree and give it back. Here is your degree. Now I'm going to do whatever I want to do. So you've paid for this for them or you have helped them get it, but it was really not for them. I remember we were choosing paths without language for self-awareness. When self-awareness plays a very big role in shaping who you are and should play a very big role in who then you want to become and that path that you want to take as a career. And that's the transition that no one named. Choosing a career is such a big transition because it determines a lot in your life. How you look at yourself, the value you place on yourself, how you show up in spaces, and how you describe yourself, or your self-esteem. Nowadays, labels really, I talked about labels before. Labels really do not matter, at least to an extent. Some generations really don't care about labels, as long as they are self-fulfilled, as long as they feel like they value themselves, that is what matters. And to me, really, that should be what matters. Leading our young people into paths that really do not fit them, or just because we think would fit them, is not the best for them. There is a part that parents play, a very important part, which I acknowledge and which is very, very useful. But there's also a path of acknowledging someone's own agency, someone's own strengths and abilities, and someone's own interests, which you shouldn't kill just because there's a label you're looking for, or there's a path that you think is good for them. I shared this before and I will share it again. I use this book quite often, the Inner Compass process, to help guide someone's career path. Because if it comes from inside, then it's easier to manage. You're going to be working for a long time. You will be working for a very, very long time. We work for more than half of our lives. And so making it meaningful, making it something that augurs well with our strengths is good. One of the authors I read, what book was that? The 12-Week Year. One of the authors quoted in there, I can't remember the name, but it goes something like, our greatest achievements come from I'm forgetting this, but it's something in the line of using our strengths to make sure that we align our achievements with those. Give me 1 second. I know I shared it with someone. The day I read it, I shared it with, I think it was my family. Okay, yes, here it is. To be your best, you must intentionally align your time and activities with your strengths and your unique capabilities. If you do, you will find high levels of performance and satisfaction. Because your greatest achievements come from aligning yourself with your greatest strengths and your unique capabilities. Once you identify those, then whatever you do or a career path you choose is not something that is chosen for you, but it aligns with your own interests, and therefore you feel fulfilled in it. Many times you see people being very, very sad, tired of their jobs, because sometimes, and I speak from my experience, particularly in the diaspora, where many immigrants come and the first thing they hear is, you better be a nurse, you're gonna make the most money. So the pressure of, you're gonna make money, or you better do this. You want to align to a certain thing because of the money. 1, 2, 3 years down the line, you are so absolutely exhausted, you hate your life. It's because you're in there for money. You're not in there because it fulfills you deeply. All right? So now that we know how to name those transitions, I'm asking, if you're in that season right now, you're allowed to explore. You're allowed to pivot, and you're allowed to outgrow your first decision. That's okay. And if you're guiding someone, ask who they are becoming. Ask who they are, what their innate strengths and unique capabilities are, not just what they want to do, because those are different things. Career is not just income. It's many times identity work. And if someone is comfortable and fulfilled in their identity, they will be a very happy and fulfilled person. That's the end of today's story. If it resonated, please follow. Actually, this is YouTube. Okay, please subscribe. Subscribe. And come back tomorrow, because I'm telling this journey in order, one chapter at a time. And the next piece might be the one you need most. I'll see you on the next one. What am I talking about next? My first job. Ooh, that will be interesting. See you tomorrow.